Good morning, students. This is next topic, that is how do metals and non-metals react. In previous video, we discussed about physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. I hope you are very clear about that topic. This one is how reaction takes place between metals and non-metals. Before that, we should discuss some points. Generally, a metal loses electrons and a non-metal gains electrons. I repeat once again. Generally, metal loses electrons and non-metal gains electrons. For example, I discuss some points. Take sodium. The electronic configuration of sodium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. This is the electronic configuration for sodium. In this configuration, this is K shell, this is L shell, this is M shell. All these points we have discussed already in class 9. So this is K shell, that means first shell. This is L shell, that means second shell. This is M shell, that means third shell. So this K shell contains 2 electrons, that is this one. This L shell contains 8 electrons, that means 6 plus 2, 8 electrons. And this M shell, that means third shell, contains only 1 electron. So this is the electronic configuration of sodium atom. So here the point is, this sodium atom contains 1 valency electron. This is the valency electron of sodium atom. What is the definition for valency electrons? The number of electrons present in outer shell or valency shell or ultimate shell is called valency electrons. I repeat once again. The number of electrons which are present in outer shell or valency shell or ultimate shell is called valency electrons. So in this case, sodium contains 3 shells. That is first shell, second shell, third shell. Automatically this would be valency shell. So that means ultimate shell. So in this ultimate shell contains only 1 electron, that is valency electron. So how many valence electrons present in sodium atom? Only 1 valency electron. Next, one more point, one more thing. Take chlorine. Here the electronic configuration of chlorine is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. This is the electronic configuration for chlorine atom. In this case, this is K shell. K shell nothing but first shell. This is L shell. This is M shell. K shell nothing but first shell. L shell nothing but second shell. M shell nothing but third shell. Here, this K shell contains how many electrons? 2 electrons. This is 2 indicates number of electrons present in K shell or first shell. Here these 2 plus 6, that means total 8 electrons present in L shell. Nothing but second shell. How many electrons? 8 electrons. Here this third shell contains how many electrons? 2 plus 5, total 7 electrons. So these are the electrons present in chlorine atom. This is the electronic configuration. We can write the electronic configuration either in this manner or in this manner. So better to learn the electronic configuration always in this manner, because in higher classes we will discuss the structure of the compounds based on electronic configuration, this manner. So if you learn this manner, we cannot learn the structures. So better to learn the electronic configurations always in this manner, SPDF manner. So here the point is, here how many in chlorine, how many valence electrons are there? This is the valence shell, because this is last shell. So here the valence electrons is 7. Here 1, here 7. Next, take again sodium atom. Now this sodium atom contains 11 protons and 11 electrons. 11 protons, 11 electrons. So in this case sodium contains one valency electron. This dot indicates valency electron. Next, in case of chlorine, chlorine contains 17 protons and 17 electrons. The number of valence electrons in chlorine, how much? Chlorine contains 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the valence electrons present in sodium atom and chlorine atom. Here the point is, if suppose sodium loses this electron to chlorine atom, what happens? Then sodium contains 10 electrons and chlorine contains 18 electrons. I repeat once again, this is the important point. If sodium loses this valency electron to chlorine atom, then sodium contains how many electrons? 10 electrons. And chlorine contains how many electrons? 18 electrons. If sodium, and one more important point, if sodium loses that valency electron, then sodium becomes Na plus, because if any substance loses electrons, it acquires positive charge. If any substance gains electrons, it acquires negative charge. I repeat once again, if any substance loses electrons, it acquires positive charge. If any substance gains electrons, it acquires negative charge. So here sodium loses electron to chlorine atom, then it becomes Na plus and Cl becomes Cl minus. Sodium loses electron, so it becomes Na plus, Cl gains electrons, so it becomes Cl minus. Here this is positive ion, here this is negative ion. This positive ion is called cation and this negative ion is called anion. This positive ion is called cation and this negative ion is called anion. Between oppositely charged ions, some attraction forces would develop. Here those attraction forces are called strong electrostatic force of attractions. Very important point. I repeat once again, between oppositely charged ions, some attraction forces would develop. Those attraction forces are called strong electrostatic force of attractions. Because of those attractions, these two ions comes close to each other and they remove their charges, and finally NaCl will be formed. So this is a sodium chloride. In this sodium chloride, sodium is the cation and chlorine is the anion. Like that, sodium chloride will be formed from sodium atom and chlorine atom. Here some points are there. Here sodium loses electron, it forms metal. So here why sodium loses electron? Because sodium is a metal. Here chlorine gains electron. Why chlorine gains electron? Because it is non-metal. In starting itself I told one point, generally metals loses electrons and non-metals gains electron. Because of metallic nature of sodium, it loses electron. Because of non-metallic nature of chlorine, it gains electron. So like that reaction takes place between metals and non-metals. Finally, compounds are formed. So this is the example for formation of ionic compound. Why I should say like this, ionic compound? Because in ionic compounds strong electrostatic force of attractions are present. So in this case positive ions and negative ions are appeared before the formation of this compound. Between the oppositely charged ions, these electrostatic forces of attractions are arised. Such compounds are called ionic compounds. Such compounds are called ionic compounds. Next one more example. Take one more example, that is magnesium. Here magnesium electronic configuration is magnesium electronic configuration. Take magnesium. Magnesium electron configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. This is the electronic configuration for magnesium. This is K shell, this is L shell, and this is M shell. K shell nothing but first shell, this is second shell, this is third shell. K shell contains how many electrons? 2 electrons. Second shell contains 8 electrons, and the third shell contains 2 electrons. Here this is the last shell. That is why here valence electrons is how much? Here valence is how much? 2 electrons. And one more example, take chlorine. Again take this one, chlorine. Electronic configuration is what? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. This is the electronic configuration for chlorine. In this case, this is K shell, this is L shell, and this is M shell. This K shell contains 2 electrons, L shell contains 8 electrons, and M shell contains 7 electrons. Here this is the last shell. These electrons will be valency electrons. So in this case valence electrons is how much? 7. Already we discussed in this case. So here the point is what? Magnesium and chlorine. Magnesium contains how many valence electrons? 2. Chlorine contains, take 2 chlorine atoms. I take one more chlorine. Each chlorine contains same number of valency electrons, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here also 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here the point is, if magnesium loses these 2 electrons to each chlorine atom. I repeat once again. If magnesium loses these 2 electrons to each chlorine atom, that means magnesium loses this electron to one electron to one chlorine, and this electron to another chlorine atom, then magnesium becomes +2. Why it becomes +2? Because it loses 2 electrons. Suppose if it loses 3 electrons, then it requires +3. Suppose it loses 4 electrons, then it requires +4. So here how many chlorine atoms? 2 chlorine atoms. These 2 chlorine atoms gains these 2 electrons. Then chlorine gains electrons, so that it gains negative charge. Why we should put minus charge here? Because each chlorine gains 1 electron, not one chlorine atom gains 2 electrons. Here each chlorine gains one electron. So there here how many such chlorines? 2 chlorines. 2 chlorines gains how much charge? Minus one negative charge. So here then MgCl2 will be formed finally, because when positive charge and negative charge are formed, automatically strong electrostatic force of attractions arises between these 2 ions. Then these 2 ions comes close to each other. Finally this compound will be formed. Here this compound name is called magnesium chloride. I repeat once again. If you take magnesium into 2 chlorine atoms, magnesium contains 2 valence electrons. So this magnesium loses those 2 electrons to each chlorine atom. Then finally Mg+2 and 2Cl- ions will be formed. Between oppositely charged ions, strong electrostatic force of attractions are present. Those forces are arised. Finally, MgCl2, nothing but magnesium chloride is formed. So this is also one of the example for formation of ionic compound. This is also one of the example for formation of ionic compound. Like that, ionic compounds will be formed between metals and non-metals. Next topic is properties of ionic compound. Properties of ionic compounds. Simple points are there. 3 points you can remember very easily. First one, all ionic compounds, for example sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, like that there are so many compounds in nature. So all ionic compounds are present in solid state because of strong electrostatic forces of attractions. I repeat once again, all ionic compounds are present in solid state because of strong electrostatic force of attractions. Next one. Second one, all ionic compounds having more melting point and boiling point due to strong electrostatic force of attractions. I repeat once again, all ionic compounds having more melting point and boiling point due to strong electrostatic forces of attractions. Next one, third one, very important point. All ionic compounds do not exhibit conductivity in solid state. But exhibit conductivity in molten state or liquid state. I repeat once again, all ionic compounds do not exhibit conductivity in solid state, but they exhibit conductivity in molten state or liquid state. For example, take table salt, nothing but sodium chloride. If you take that salt, if you pass electricity to the table salt, if you touch the table salt, then you will not get any electrical effect, because that table salt, nothing but that sodium chloride contains Na plus and Cl minus ions. But because of strong electrostatic force of attractions between those ions cannot exhibit any electricity in solid state. But if you take that salt in glass of water, if you pass electricity to that glass of water, if you touch that glass of water, then we get electrical shock, because in that glass of water free sodium ions and chloride ions are present. In previous case also sodium ions and chloride ions are present, but the attractions between those ions are very strong. But when they are present in water, the attractions between those ions will become weak. Automatically those ions will be free. When free ions are present, automatically those ions exhibit conductivity. So free ions are present in liquid state and molten state. So the point is what? All ionic compounds do not exhibit conductivity in solid state, but they exhibit conductivity in molten state or liquid state. Next one, fourth one. All ionic compounds are soluble in water, but they do not soluble in organic compounds. Organic compounds like benzene, ether, kerosene, petrol, etc. I repeat once again, all ionic compounds are soluble in water, but they do not soluble in organic compounds like benzene, ether, kerosene, petrol, etc. So these are the properties of ionic compounds.